Welcome to Cross City Roofing. This is an introduction presentation to our UTE setup. All our UTEs are equipped with heavy-duty aluminium tray and roof rack systems capable of carrying a heavy load. Every UTE has a longer phone charging cord for an assessor at the passenger seat, and a shorter charging cord for driver's phone. There are band-aids always located in the glove compartment. In the middle compartment, there is a long-reach tape measure for the assessor. A water hose fitting, as they are often missing on site. In addition, a set of Allen keys is essential to have it handy. If you use our hose fitting, always remove it and put it back in the middle compartment, as it's easy to forget it and leave it on site. The rear seats with our 3 tool bags and 2 boxes with fixings. There are ladder packers and 2 tree pruners in the side doors compartment. There are 4 to 6 extra blue straps, tightly coiled on the rear floors mat, along with the Makita blower, always ready with a battery. We always have 2 boxes with fixings. The first box is easy to reach. It has most common fixings we use 98% of the time. 50mm T17 screws and 50mm Vortex, self-drilling, screws. 65mm T17 screws and aluminium, plain, rivets. 25mm T17 screws and galvanized valley clips. Clout nails and 65mm nails for timber battens. 6.5 by 50mm mushroom head nylon anchor, plugs. The second box contain other, less often required fixings. 25mm square drive screws for timber. 35mm square drive screws for timber. 45mm square drive screws for timber. 65mm square drive screws for timber, very handy to occasionally screw in a loose tile to the batten, when the batten is too bouncy for a nail. Galvanized, flathead, Phillips 35mm screws, we use them to secure eaves to timber and, for external gutter brackets, as required. Galvanized flathead Phillips 15mm screws, excellent to secure a metal trim to uphold a loose eave to the fascia board. Most fascia boards are only 18mm thick. Galvanized, bugle batten screws, smaller and longer bugle screws. Bullet head nails, essential during sarking replacement, on a tiled roofs. Extra long rivets, do not use those unless it is necessary, use other rivets for flashings. Use long rivets to fix thick layer of metals, like some external gutter corners and multi-lead flashings in rare situations. Develop a habit of lifting the box with your index finger securing the lid, as often the box is open, and contents can fall out of the box. Make sure all seat belts are plugged in, as otherwise, seatbelt alarm in the car will go off. There are 3 tool bags, generally, on the rear seats. We sometimes refer to them as the package. It is a good idea to always have a spare, empty, tool bag to put together tools for small, in and out jobs. This is a set of tools, generally contained inside those 3 tool bags. This package of tools is sufficient to complete 90% of any roof repairs. Always have a minimum of 2 sets of reds and green snips. In addition, it is handy to have a pair of blue snips for long, straight cuts. We recommend to always have a minimum of 3 yellow knives. As part of the package, make sure you have sufficient number of blades inside the knife. 2 pry bars. A heavy-duty long knife is very handy to cut through silicone seals, deep inside flashings. A Milwaukee rivet gun. Check the battery of the rivet gun by pressing the trigger first, and then checking the level charge. Another hand rivet gun, very handy for a small repair or, if the Milwaukee gun fails to work. 2 disposable tape measures, not as robust as the assessor's tape measure, in the UTE's middle compartment. 2 Makita impact drivers, and a drill gun. A minimum of 4 batteries, and another battery in the Makita blower. A chalk line reel, and a small, magnetic spirit level. 2 pairs of multi-grips, and a pair of nail puller pliers. The yellow square. A hammer. The drill bits box. Sometimes we refer to it as the magic box, as it saved the day, and without some of its contents, often the job cannot be done. 1 long, hex head driver, 5/16, fitting most roofing screws we use. 1 hex head extension bit. 2 masonry 6.5 mm drill bits. A large hex driver, 3/8, and a smaller hex for leaf guard screws, 1/4. A Phillips drive, and a square drive. 2 drill bits fitting the hex extension bit or an impact driver. An extension drive with the drill bit can be essential when pre-drilling a hole inside a gutter, to later screw it. A handful of rivet drill bits, 3.2 mm. You can stack up the 3 tool bags, on top of the screw boxes, at the rear seats. It saves room for the toolbox, and keeps tools safe. All our utes are equipped with a heavy-duty, central locking toolboxes. 2 rubber straps, always present in the ute to secure ladders. A broomstick, and a removable broom, handy to remove large volume of leaves, and debris from the flat, metal roofs. A long, yellow level. A blue, shorter level. A large square, rarely used, but occasionally useful when cutting fibrocement board. 6 to 7 tubes of clear silicone. 4 to 5 tubes of external gap filler. 2 to 3 tubes of Sikaflex polyurethane sealant. Do not take too many of these, as it clutters the toolboxes, unless you have a job where you know you'll need lots of the above. Make sure you have 2 to 3 nozzles for the large Sikaflex tubes. Have a roll of rubbish bags or a pile of recycled rubbish bags. Sometimes these heavy-duty bags can be used more than 2 to 3 times. A bucket of cotton clods. The painting accessories box. A glass cleaner spray bottle. We use it to clean skylights, clean flashings from dust and dirt, not silicone, and to clean utes. A packet of rollers for painting. 3 roller sticks and 2 to 3 wire brushes. A paint scraper. It is not the same as plastering knives. Plastering knives are used to leave a flat surface, when smoothing plaster or a gap filler. Do not use a plastering knife to scrape a wall, as it will permanently damage the blade of the plastering knife, making it useless. Use only scrapers to remove loose paint, and other debris from the wall. 4 to 5 paint brushes. A container with reciprocated saw blades. Make sure you always have a tree pruning blade. It is not the same as a timber blade, which is used to cut structural timber, rafters, battens, etc. We use the tree pruning blade most often to cut tree branches away from the roofing surface. The metal cutting blade, with small teeth. Another container with additional random items, such as a spare hand riveter, a plasterboard saw, very handy when we need to cut a hole in the ceiling, when approved by the landlord, as part of the leak detection process. Earmuffs, useful when cutting a lot of tiles using a grinder. Another box with disposable respirator masks, useful when cutting a lot of tiles using a grinder. Spare retrofit deck-tight clips.